red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
Whoa, Kyle Busch is around. Big wreck.
Wow. There's
Dale Jr. got involved.
Oh, Junior's in it, and Matt Kenseth.
And Ty Dillon and Erik Jones are all piled up in turn 3.
What the heck happened?
The 18 just turned around. I don't know if he got himself in a unique position, or the car got loose right there going in the corner, or he had a tire going down, but it just turned around in front of everybody.
All right, let's see what we got.
There's Kyle Busch.
All by himself.
Boy.
Oh, it just turned. I mean, that has to be a tire. There's no way that car just jumped around like that without something happening to it. I mean, he just lost. That thing just went sideways.
Now, the red flag is a boon to the drivers who have crash damage. They can work up a plan for repair. Elliott Sadler, Xfinity Series regular, finds himself leading the Daytona 500. Ouch. We are under caution at Bristol at lap 54. Kurt Busch, the first car to go around, not sure if he got tagged, but he had damage against the inside wall.
I think he may have wheel hop trying to slow down. Oh, you see just a little bit of contact. Kurt Busch trying to get underneath Trevor Bayne, I believe that was, and the car comes around.
Now, watch as Kurt Busch's car starts to come around here and bounces off the inside wall. All the spotters are thinking right there that it's coming back up on the racetrack. And they tell all their drivers, jam on the brakes. He's going to slide back up. He doesn't get back up the racetrack, but everybody's all woed up.
Mike, in all due respect, you run so fast around here, even when the spotter tells you there's trouble, it's just hard, and Jeff knows this, it's just hard to get woed up, and especially if somebody's ahead of you like the 15 was, and now you see the car in front of you stopping, and you just can't stop.
Well, cleanup continues here. This will be a KFC race break as the red flag is out at Bristol.
It's time to be greedy.
There he goes. There we go. Here we go.
Oh, upside,
Side
on
down.
the side.
Well, AJ, that was a humdinger. The field has been stopped down in turn number 1. Michael McDowell climbs out. He's okay. His car obviously is not. Here is the initial contact. You see Chase's car yawed out just a tiny bit in the corner.
And they got him loose.
That's all it takes.
That's the one. He was going to save it till that last little bump.
I was just going to say, AJ, just be a little patient here. We got a little ways to go yet, and you got a pretty good car. Wow.
In a moment.
This is amazing footage, folks.
Incredible camera work.
Just remember, there's a driver in every one of those cars. Watch it.
Well, that's a long, slow roll for Allmendinger. And look, both those cars end up pretty much together, along with the mess that was Logano's car and Michael McDowell's. Harvick had damage in that. So did Trevor Bayne, Erik Jones, Matt Kenseth. All involved.
Right now with the 42. Oh,
whoa,
trouble. Big
crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano.
Oh, man.
And Aric Almirola.
Holy smoly.
Boy, heavy damage there on Danica. Oh, man. It looked like the 22 just got loose.
I think
oh, man. What a ride that Danica went on.
Danica took a heck of a ride into the wall, and then the 43 just plowed in there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. I think he committed to the outside lane.
Now, we talked about the possibility of rain. There is lightning right in the area, so we'll get an update here in just a moment. Martin Truex Jr. is your leader under caution at lap 142.
And that's why the red flag came out. There was lightning in the distance. I think there's rain a little closer.
This changes everything. This takes you out of your rhythm. This is going to change the track conditions because all that heavy rain has now washed the rubber away, and everything could possibly change, especially if things are going well for you so far up to this point in the race.
Oh, my.
Fucking brake still. Wowzers.
Running 7th, Johnson with a brake problem, and Jamie McMurray has destroyed the right side of his car.
Yeah,
whose brakes fail? Was it Jimmie Johnson or was it Jamie McMurray?
I don't know, but I don't know. That's a hard hit, boys. I tell you, that was a big hit for that 48 car. Looks like pretty similar hit for this one car.
As a race car driver, this is one of your biggest fears is a brake issue here. Oh, he's going to get out in a hurry.
They were running 7th and 9th, and it's crash and burn for Jamie McMurray's car.
The 48 Jimmie Johnson, that's right in the braking zone. See if, right there.
You see the smoke, yeah. Actually, the right rear. It looked like fire in the right rear.
It did look like a failure in the right rear. He turns left trying to get away from that wall. Heavy impact. The right side. That'll take the wind out of you. Now, what happened here is what we've got to figure out. How did Jamie McMurray get involved?
Lap 97, a red flag of 160 at Pocono.
Look at the hands on AJ Allmendinger. Up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And another contact that Kenseth hits. The one of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road. Once again, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had filled that hole. And a big hit by the 41 of Kurt Busch. The red flag has been displayed.
Those are the angles that just tremendous impact. The 41 down the, at the bottom of the racetrack gets caught in the quarter panel. It looked like you see him down there on the bottom. The action starts happening on the outside, and the 41 gets clipped, turns right, up the wall.
Sure, one car came up, the other car came down. It's hard for me to see when it first starts.
Cars have been brought onto pit road, and it looks as though it could go to a red flag condition. And the reason for this, there is a hole that is in between turns 3 and 4 that the track is working on. They actually sealed it, or tried to seal it, yesterday, and it looks as though some things are coming up on the track now, so they're going to try to go to work on that and get that fixed.
Yeah, the racetracks are prepared for these types of events. There's an epoxy they can put in this hole, and it will fill that hole up, and it dries it very, very quickly. So the tracks are always prepared if the track comes up, if things happen. So that's an attempt right now to get this hole cleaned up, and then they'll come in and put epoxy in it to fill that hole.
All of these drivers that came to pit road, or the majority of them, choosing to change 4 tires. So already some adjustments for the tire combination that Goodyear brought.
Yeah, I think part of that too, Steve, is just, we talked about it when the show opened, you're going to have to do something different. It's so hard to pass here.
There's a storm that is coming right now from the northwest that's heading right at the track, and because there is lightning in the area, they are going to bring this field onto pit road, and more than likely we will see these cars get covered up quickly because this storm looks as though it's going to pass through quickly, but because of the lightning, they want to make sure everyone is safe. They have told the people in the grandstands also that there is a storm coming and lightning is on its way. You see the weather moving in, and that is the reason why all of the cars and the crews are now putting covers over the top of the cars.
Rick Hendrick now has that decision. There were rumors that maybe he would fill the seat for the 88. Those were put to rest this week with Alex Bowman, but now there's always this conversation about Kasey Kahne in the 5. There's a conversation about what should be the next step for William Byron. Personally, I think this young man's very talented, but I like running a little bit of Xfinity. I'd like to see him run a little bit more there before he moves up to Cup.
Caution on the racetrack. The 14 of Clint Bowyer involved. Also the 41 of Kurt Busch.
You see him crash it down, coming up, he's coming up, coming in the middle.
Wow.
As real as it gets. Big impact, shoots Bowyer back across the racetrack.
Fortunately, to miss the end of that pit wall.
Yeah,
I know it was another hard impact, but the end of that pit wall would have been another awkward impact as we see the red flag now being displayed, Rick.
Yeah, a lot of cleanup's going to have to take place here.
It's amazing.
So violent. Green flag back in the air. Caution's going to come out. They're wrecking behind him.
Everybody wants to be the first line into turn 1.
And it's hard to reference, but it looks like Kasey Kahne chooses to wait to the end of the restart zone. Now, he can absolutely do that. He can refire or fire the race anytime in start that zone.
We got a caution. Michael McDowell. Pullmanade.
Okay, rolling here. Just lock it down, lock it down.
Man, they are fast here. That thing goes sideways. It's still close to 200 miles an hour.
He's on the brakes and just still makes contact. Going red flag here? I saw everybody slow way down. Yeah, the red is out.
And we're getting a message that is due to oil, excessive oil on track.
This gives you a little bit of an opportunity to think it through, to use this to learn, to try to apply what you just did wrong, to try to do it better this time.
But there's contact. The 41 gets into him. He couldn't see. Also piling into them.
The 78's in it as well. The 78, 88 is backwards on the backstretch as well.
They were sideways as the 4 was sliding sideways. Now there's more contact made as the 78 and the 88 trying to get going the right direction.
So Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick were battling for position, and couldn't tell from that view if there was contact or not, but Kevin Harvick goes around.
He did the right. He just stopped and said, y'all get it figured out. I'm going to come through after that.
It's going to be bad as far as the 88 because that's where you put the fuel in, where that contact was made with him. The 78 was on the side that is opposite where they fuel the car. And so the red flag is going to come out as, again, the cars are locked together.
Look at this view right here, riding along with Busch. You can see he has no idea where anybody is, and he committed to going to the top, and Kevin Harvick was sitting there. He came out of the smoke, and there the car was sitting.
There's a car in the barrels on the entrance of pit road. Much like you pointed out, Jeff, it's so difficult. Jeffrey Earnhardt was trying to get slowed down. He had to get on the asphalt too soon, lost grip, spun around, and backed into those barrels. You see right here, Jeffrey Earnhardt is just committed, but going too fast. Can't control the race car. Spins around. And as you mentioned, damaged those barrels, rolled one barrel, tipped it over, and put it basically onto pit road.
You just have to have those barrels there. You can't have the blunt end of a wall. Obviously, if a car hit the end of that wall, that's very, very dangerous. So they just have to stop and fix that.
Riding along with the bat cam, 100 miles an hour on that camera as they go down the back stretch.
Oh, there it is.
Hard into the wall. The 41 of Kurt Busch. He'll collect the rest of the field.
The 18's in it. The 48's in it.
The 88 is in it. Just on the front edge. She starts to roll now on the apron.
Red flag is out up here, so once you get caught up.
Oh, just
looks like the 78. Was that the 38 perhaps of David Reagan?
Yeah, I think it was a 38. It's like that 78 trying to make it 4 wide. And
Suarez back up there. Big wreck behind them. Logano gets in it.
Wrecking behind you.
Trevor Bayne also involved. Ryan Blaney in the 21. Big hit for him again.
It might be the low oil pressure deal, kicking it off.
So that right there means these engines have a system, as the red flag comes out, that if it doesn't measure oil pressure, the electronics shuts off.
maybe not.
Very close. Small pack, but this is it. All fighting. A huge opportunity for some drivers out here. Suarez is going to go around. He got tagged from the back. Right in front, hard contact.
Hold it up there, yellow's up. Be ready, guys.
And the red flag will come out again for the third time today.
But the hole's there. So Chase Elliott, he's doing it. Why not make that move? It's there, and then it just closed up.
Well, this is what we talk about. How aggressive do you want to be? If you're not going to go for that hole, then you're not going to win this race.
Look who's joined the party in the top three. The 77 of Erik Jones and the 24. And around goes the 77 of Jones. Almost up over the wall as they hit hard.
That Kenseth.
The 20 of Kenseth involved, as is the 1 of McMurray. A big wreck coming out of turn 2.
Inside, watch your inside. All right, we're rolling, guys. 4 flat.
Now you just reset our conversation about the 5-minute clock. Now Matt Kenseth is on it. He has a full 5 minutes.
Jimmie Johnson, he never got off of it, though, right? They didn't run a whole lap, so his clock is still running.
You can have more than 6 guys, okay? You can't have more than 6.
And now the red is being displayed as the cars are stopped in turn 2.
You see they're coming off turn 2, and Erik Jones Car gets loose, puts a little bit too much wheel back to the right and basically head on into the wall, and then major impact behind, got him up in the air.
I think that was Daniel Suarez perhaps that made the first impact. It looked like the 19 car, that orange and white car.
But as we mentioned, the 20 involved, the one of Jamie McMurray, both involved in the playoffs, part of the round of 12.
There's the big hit right there for the 20 car. You see Jimmie Johnson on the left-hand side of the screen sliding through.
Man, it's very good to see Erik Jones get out.
See right here, the wheel, just a little too much wheel back to the right.
Daniel Suarez absolutely nowhere to go.
14 of Clint Bowyer. Heavy damage with the 19 as well. A huge penalty for the 20 team of Matt Kenseth. We had mentioned when they were on pit road and they were working on the car, you can't have more than 6 members of the pit crew over the wall.
During the course of the race, if it happens on a normal pit stop, you just go to the tail end. But when you are on the 5-minute clock, when you are part of the damaged vehicle policy, which the 20 of Matt Kenseth was absolutely on, he was in the accident, that these 7 men right here, that is basically you are done in the event. You have failed the damaged vehicle policy. The 20, no matter the amount of damage, cannot continue. They will go to the garage. They can no longer participate in this race.
I think Kyle Larson might have just got into the wall off of turn 4.
He got in the wall pretty hard.
Kyle Larson, who's running 12th.
Oh, he's in the wall, spinning.
Spinning up through 1 and 2 is Kyle Larson in the 42.
We're done.
And now the flames rolling from out behind that car.
Fire here, go. Come to a stop. Come to a stop. Come to a stop.
See, winning that down, has the brakes locked up. Fire's out now.
And look at all the damage on the right side.
But it certainly was creating issues, and you can see here coming off of turn 4, way up out of the groove. And so that was this very lap then. Then as he went down into turns 1 and 2, got back up there again hard into the wall.
That is the 3rd straight DNF in 2017.
But with only 17 cars on the lead lap, Rick, I think without a doubt maybe 10th on back will come and get tires, as now NASCAR's put it under a red flag condition to aid in the cleanup.
They're going to have to take a look at the safer barriers as well as clean up the racetrack. Another caution has come out. Now it's Chris Buescher that has hit the wall. He was running 26th when it happened, but the caution comes out with 61 laps to go.
Yeah, let's take another look right here. Yeah, the right front kind of smokes and locks up. Hard hit for Chris Buescher.
And a lot of debris.
Yeah, something's on fire between the safer barrier and the concrete wall. I don't know.
In between the safer barrier and the concrete wall, those are styrofoam.
I think they're fireproof, though. It's in between. It looks like to me. I don't know, unless it moved one of them and dislodged it, but I didn't think they could burn.
Well, whatever that is, it is burning. To your point, Rick, about whether you pit or not, though, the problem is these short runs. You know, you don't really have enough laps on your tires, only 13 total, so I think it'd be hard for any of the leaders to pit at this point.
Reason for the red flag, the fires behind the wall, and I say fires, when we went away to break, another fire broke out, and when we went into slow motion and watched the 37 coming down that backstretch, you could see the brake rotors exploding. We'll take another look.
We've heard a lot of comments from a lot of different drivers and teams about heavy brake use. You see right there, the piece comes through the hood. All those dark pieces you see flying, those are all pieces of the brake rotor that's already exploded. I'm sure damaged the wheel. That's why the right front tire went flat, came up through the hood, and then poor Chris Buescher was just along for the ride.
Cars fired back up as the fires are out from within the wall.